Have you ever walked into an old room and felt a sudden chill, or heard a whisper when you knew you were alone? These moments spark a question as old as humanity. Are we alone? The idea of ghosts taps into our deepest curiosities about life, death, and what comes next. For centuries, every culture has told stories of phantoms and apparitions. More than just scares, they reflect our desire to understand the unknown. This fascination drives explorers like me to seek out the unexplained. We're drawn to places where legends say the dead still walk, not just for thrills but for the chance to find something science can't explain. The search for ghosts is a quest for answers to life's biggest questions, forcing us to confront our fears and challenge our reality. The allure of the supernatural is universal, woven into our history and culture. These stories remind us the world might be more mysterious than we think. So we pack our gear and head into the darkness, seeking places heavy with history and stories waiting to be told. Sometimes the goal isn't to prove ghosts are real, but simply to listen, to feel the echoes left behind. Whether these echoes are spirits or just imprints of emotion, the only way to find out is to step into the shadows, and that's where our journey begins. Ghost stories are a global phenomenon, with every culture boasting its own haunted legends. The Tower of London, for example, is infamous for its ghosts, most notably Anne Boleyn, said to wander near her execution site, sometimes carrying her own head. The tragic princes in the tower, two young boys believed murdered, are also seen holding hands in white nightgowns, a chilling reminder of history's dark chapters. Across the Atlantic, the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana is called one of America's most haunted places. Its most famous ghost, Chloe, a slave who was hanged after a tragic act of revenge, is said to roam the grounds in a green turban. Visitors report seeing her, along with other spirits, a young girl who died of fever, phantom cries of a baby, and a man shot on the stairs. Strange occurrences abound. Furniture moves, handprints appear on mirrors, and eerie sounds fill the night. These places attract ghost hunters and curious travelers, all hoping to experience a piece of haunted history. What unites these stories is the belief that powerful emotions or tragic events can tether spirits to a place. Whether fact or folklore, these hauntings endure because they speak to our fascination with the unknown. They remind us that history is alive and sometimes it refuses to rest, and so, the legends grow. Some places become so notorious for ghostly activity they earn legendary status, like Borley Rectory, once called England's most haunted house. The legend began with a tragic tale, a monk and a nun, doomed lovers, whose spirits were said to haunt the grounds for centuries. In the 20th century, the Foyster family reported whispers, footsteps, objects thrown, and messages scrawled on walls. The apparition of a sorrowful nun was often seen in the garden, her head bowed in sadness. Paranormal investigator Harry Price brought scientific rigor to the case, cataloging hundreds of incidents, temperature drops, levitating objects, and seances. His work made Borley Rectory internationally famous, though skeptics later debated his methods. The house burned down in 1939, but even as it burned, witnesses claimed to see ghostly figures in the flames. The ruins are gone, but the legends persist. Some say the spirits still linger on the land. Skeptics offer natural explanations, but for believers, Borley Rectory remains a powerful example of a place where the veil between worlds was thin. Its story endures as a testament to our fascination with the paranormal. Sometimes a place is haunted as much by its stories as by its ghosts. Not all ghosts haunt a single house. Some, like La Llorona, haunt entire regions and cultures. Her story echoes through Mexico and the American Southwest, a woman who, in grief and rage, drowns her children and herself, then is doomed to wander the earth searching for them. Her cries, "Ay mis hijos," are said to bring misfortune to those who hear them. La Llorona is a cautionary tale, warning children not to stray near water after dark. She's described as a tall woman in white, her face hidden by a veil, forever weeping by rivers and lakes. More than a ghost story, La Llorona is a piece of cultural identity, reflecting themes of motherhood, loss, and grief. For many, she's a real presence. Her sorrow felt in the wind or the sound of water at night. Encounters are calm and chilling wails, glimpses of her form along the water's edge. Whether spirit or symbol, her legend endures, giving voice to the sorrows that haunt the human heart. La Llorona's eternal search ensures her story will never be forgotten. Why do we believe in ghosts? Often it starts with a personal experience. A door slams, a voice calls your name, or you feel watched when alone. Our brains crave explanations for the unexplainable, and sometimes the supernatural seems the most logical answer. The environment plays a huge role. Old, creaky houses with dark histories prime our minds for ghostly encounters. Shadows, strange noises, and the knowledge of past tragedies heighten our senses, making us more likely to interpret the ambiguous as paranormal. The power of suggestion is strong. If you're told a place is haunted, you're more likely to experience something strange. Ghost tours thrive on this, filling your mind with stories and priming you to notice every draft and creak. Our expectations shape our perceptions, turning ordinary events into supernatural ones. Belief in ghosts can also be comforting, suggesting that something of us survives after death. It offers hope of an afterlife, and the possibility of reconnecting with lost loved ones. This desire for connection is deeply human. In a world full of uncertainty, believing in ghosts can provide wonder, and a glimmer of hope that there's more to existence than meets the eye. Sometimes the mind's mysteries are as compelling as any haunting, and that's why the stories endure. Science approaches hauntings with skepticism, searching for natural explanations. Infrasound, sound below our hearing range, can cause unease, anxiety, and even ghostly visions in our peripheral vision. Environmental factors like carbon monoxide poisoning can cause hallucinations and dread, as seen in famous cases later traced to faulty furnaces. Electromagnetic fields from wiring or appliances can affect the brain, leading to sensations of being watched or even hallucinations. Psychology explains much. Our brains are wired to find patterns, sometimes seeing faces or figures in random shadows, a phenomenon called pareidolia. In spooky settings, our minds can turn ambiguous sights and sounds into ghosts. Memories are also suggestible. A vague feeling can become a ghostly encounter after hearing a local legend. Science doesn't dismiss experiences, but suggests they're often the result of environmental and psychological factors. The real mystery may be how our minds interpret the unknown. While science seeks to debunk, ghost hunters search for proof. Armed with EMF meters, voice recorders, and thermal cameras, they investigate haunted sites, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. EMF meters detect electromagnetic fluctuations, theorized to signal a spirit's presence. Digital recorders capture EVPs, voices or sounds not heard at the time. Thermal cameras reveal cold spots believed to be signs of ghostly energy. Investigations are methodical. Research, baseline sweeps, long vigils in the dark, and careful data collection. The evidence is often ambiguous. A spike could be a ghost or a power line. A voice could be interference. Ghost hunting rarely yields definitive proof, but it fuels debate and keeps the search alive. For these investigators, the quest is about pushing boundaries and seeking answers in the dark. Sometimes the journey is as important as the discovery. The ghost debate is a tug-of-war between believers and skeptics. Believers point to personal experiences, historical accounts, and unexplained phenomena as evidence of a spiritual world. They argue that science hasn't yet developed the tools to measure the supernatural, and dismissing every claim as close-minded. For them, the absence of proof isn't proof of absence. It's a call to keep searching. Skeptics, on the other hand, demand extraordinary evidence for extraordinary claims. They see ghost stories as folklore, psychological phenomena, or misinterpretations of natural events. Every photo or EVP can be explained by pareidolia, glitches, or environmental factors. Skeptics champion the scientific method, insisting belief without evidence is wishful thinking. Until ghosts can be studied under controlled conditions, they remain unconvinced. This fundamental disagreement keeps the debate alive, and the search for answers ongoing. After exploring haunted history, science, and both sides of the debate, we return to the central question. Are ghosts real? These stories connect us to love, loss, and the hope that something remains after we're gone. Science offers logical explanations: pareidolia, infrasound, environmental factors. But the allure of the unknown persists. Ghost hunters walk the line, searching for evidence that rarely settles the debate. Ultimately, belief in ghosts is personal. No lab report or story can give you the final answer. You must weigh the evidence, listen to the stories, and decide for yourself. Are ghosts echoes of the past or tricks of the mind? The world is full of mysteries, and some questions may never be fully answered. So, what do you believe? The expedition is yours to continue.